Good evening. I am the Keeper, and you are listening to the Deadlight Codex. This is the account of a man who found more than just shelter in a new apartment. When Daniel moved into the old building on the edge of town, he was drawn to a particular room. It was small and unremarkable at first glance, yet it offered him an inexplicable sense of refuge. Little did he know, this room would come to know him better than he knew himself. It was as if the very walls whispered secrets only he could hear. At first, the room seemed innocuous, a blank canvas awaiting Daniel's personal touch. He filled it with books, a comfortable chair, and a lamp. Yet as he settled in, the room began to change subtly. Items appeared in unexpected places. A book he'd lost years ago turned up on the shelf, its pages dog-eared at passages he had forgotten, but once held dear. It was as if the room anticipated his needs, presenting memories he hadn't yet recalled. This uncanny sense of familiarity both comforted and unnerved him. Daniel began to feel as though the room was listening to him. It was a subtle sensation, like the gentle hum of a refrigerator, always present yet easy to ignore. The room seemed to react to his emotions. On days of sorrow, it would dim its light as if in mourning. During moments of joy, the air felt warmer, more inviting. He questioned whether these were merely coincidences or if something more sinister was at play. The idea that the room could have a consciousness was both fascinating and terrifying. One evening, Daniel found a photograph pinned to the wall. It was a picture of him as a child, taken at a family picnic. He had never brought the photo into the apartment, and yet there it was, as if plucked from the depths of his memory. A chill ran down his spine as he considered the implications. The room was more than just aware. It was actively engaging with his past, dredging up memories he'd long buried. It was as if the room was orchestrating a reunion with his forgotten self. Daniel attempted to dismiss the occurrences as tricks of the mind, but the room wouldn't let him. Whispers began to echo in the silence, soft and indistinct, yet unmistakably familiar. They were the voices of people he once knew, friends and family long gone. The room seemed to conjure them from the ether, replaying fragments of conversations as if they were happening anew. He started to question his own sanity, unsure of where memory ended and manipulation began. The boundary between reality and illusion began to blur. Desperate for answers, Daniel searched for the apartment's history. He discovered that previous tenants had also experienced peculiar events, though most refused to speak of their time there. The landlord dismissed the stories as urban legends, but Daniel felt a deepening dread. He realized the room was not just a passive observer. It was an active participant, shaping the lives of those who dared to inhabit it. Yet its motives remained elusive, shrouded in mystery and fear. The room had a legacy of secrets, a silent witness to untold stories. The room began to influence Daniel's dreams, weaving his subconscious into a tapestry of past, present, and possible futures. He often awoke with a start, disoriented and drenched in sweat. The dreams felt more like memories, vivid and unyielding. They revealed moments of his life he had long forgotten or wished to forget. The room seemed to know his innermost fears and desires, using them as threads to bind him tighter to its enigmatic will. Each morning, he awoke more entangled in its web. Daniel attempted to leave the room, but something always pulled him back. It was an invisible tether, a sense of belonging that defied logic. Even when he spent time in other parts of the apartment, he felt the room's presence, a constant whisper in the back of his mind. It was as if the room had become his confidant, a keeper of secrets both shared and unspoken. Yet he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. The room's hold on him was as comforting as it was oppressive. In a moment of clarity, Daniel realized the room was not merely a passive entity, but something much more. It was a guardian, perhaps, or a captor. The line between protection and manipulation blurred with each passing day. He questioned whether the room was safeguarding him from the outside world, or imprisoning him within its walls. The thought was terrifying, yet oddly comforting. The room knew him, understood him. But to what end? Was it a benevolent caretaker, or a sinister warden? Daniel decided to confront the room, speaking aloud as if addressing a sentient being. He demanded to know its purpose, its intentions. The room responded with silence, yet the air seemed to thicken, charged with unspoken words. It was a standoff, a battle of wills between man and space. Daniel realized the room thrived on his uncertainty, feeding off his emotions. It was a symbiotic relationship, one that could not simply be severed by will alone. The room's silence spoke volumes, hinting at depths he dared not explore. He wondered if the room's knowledge could be used for good, if perhaps it was a gift rather than a curse. Yet every time he embraced this thought, a darker possibility loomed. What if the room's ultimate goal was to consume him entirely, to erase his identity until he became just another memory in its archive? The realization was chilling. He had to make a choice. Stay and risk losing himself, or leave and live with the unknown. The room offered no answers, only endless questions. That's where the account ends, whether by choice or otherwise. Daniel's story is a cautionary tale, a reminder that some places hold more than just memories. They hold power, influence, and a will of their own. He never went back. And if you're smart, neither will you. Some stories don't end. They just stop being told. The room remains, waiting for its next occupant, its next story to weave. Be careful where you choose to rest your head, for some places never forget.